folks, Jose here for another video tutorial for wpbasics.org. In today's tutorial, we are going to work with what is called the loop in WordPress. So what that is basically is that enables us to generate posts dynamically depending on what posts are in the posts section here in our dashboard. So if we have a bunch of posts here, we can control how they are output into our front end. Because right now these posts are being generated based on static text that is found here in the index.php file. So that's what we want to do. So the first thing we want to do is actually create some sample posts, and instead of creating them just by hand, we can go into our plugins and we can get a plugin that's called Faker Press, and that'll generate some test content for us. So just go ahead and install that. Now let's click on Faker Press and let's create some posts. So how many posts we want? Let's say about 5. And let's say 5 here also. And the date, we can set the date to whatever we want. Let's just pick a few months back, and that's fine. And post type, let's see what else we want here. We want attachments, we want thumbnails. That should be good. Now we're going to generate it. And here they are. They should be generated now. So let's just go have a look. Here they are. Let's view the post. Actually, we can't view it yet because we don't have the template created, but here it is. We have the post here. So let's go here. As you can see, it's still the same. So let's get started with creating our loop. So let's go into our text editor. So what we want to do now is go to the bottom of this page and delete this part of the text. This text is used to generate these previous and next buttons. We don't need those right now, so let's get rid of them. So delete that. And then the next thing we want to do is get rid of the code that's outputting these static posts. So the code below this section here, let's start grabbing it there and highlight it until you get to the last post. So let's delete up to here, and that should leave us with just one post left. So now let's set up our basic loop. Our basic loop goes like this. You put in PHP tags, and then you put in a condition if, open close brackets, have posts, okay, and then put a colon. So first, if it has posts, and then PHP tags again, and then you write while have posts, colon, the post. Oops, that's not what I want. The post is what I want. The post. Then we put a semicolon. And then let's put in static, put static text. This is where we're going to put the static text in a while. Okay, and then we have to PHP end the while. Okay, and then we have to do PHP else. And then we can just do this, put a paragraph tag, PHP, then we can write double underscore, and put open close brackets, then put quotation, single quotations, no posts found, put a semicolon, and then of course we have to end the if, end if. And that should do it. So let's just make sure there's no errors here. So as you can see, it did put static text here once, twice, third time, four times, 5 times, because we have five posts. So let's get going with the rest of it. So the first thing we want to do, let's make our first challenge, I guess you can say it, is to output the title dynamically. So let's do that first. So what we want to do now is get rid of this little title, this put static text here, delete that, and actually let's grab all our dynamic text. Okay, this whole thing, we can grab it, cut it, and paste it in here. Now let's go back to here, and it should output it 5 times. Here it is. So once, twice, third, 4, 5 times, and it's doing that because we have the static text here. So like I said, the first thing we want to do is make the title dynamic. So the title here, we have blog post. We're going to keep that class, but here, this title, new feature, we want to generate that dynamically. So just put in some PHP tags, and in here put the underscore title, and then closing a semicolon, and save that. And let's see what we have now. If we refresh, now you can see these are the titles. These are the titles of each individual post. Okay, so then the next thing we want to do, we want to be able to generate the content dynamically. So what we want to do is grab all the content and then replace it with some code. So let's grab all the content starting here at the end of the p tag up to here, and we're going to leave this blog post meta. We're going to leave that there. So let's delete that, and then let's put a little space. Let's tab over, and what we want to do is put in some PHP tags here, and then just simply write the content, and let's save that. And let's go back to our post, and now you can see that each one has their own content. Some of them have pictures, some of them don't. But you know, on a blog page, you don't necessarily want that. You want more of an excerpt. So we want to change that. So that's a simple, just to show the excerpt, we just simply change the content to the excerpt. And let's save that. And now you can see there's an excerpt there. So it's that simple, folks. Now you might want to change how long this length of this excerpt is. You might want it a little bit shorter or a little bit longer. So that's easy enough to do. You just go to your functions PHP file, and here, so all we're going to do here is add a new function. Pardon me, we'll call it set excerpt underscore length. Okay, open close curly brackets. Let's say return 40, and I'm going to add a filter, and let's say excerpt length, comma, open and close single quotation, set excerpt length, put a semicolon, and actually, you know, we should actually put a comment here. Excerpt length. Okay, and let's save that. Let's go back here, and now it's a little bit shorter. If you wanted it longer, let's just put it to 80, just for example. It's longer, but you know, I think 40 is pretty good, so let's put it back to 40. check it again. And here we have it, the excerpt length at 40. So as it stands right now, we have our titles, we have our excerpt, but we don't have a way to view the full post. Normally you'd want to be able to at least click on here on the title and have it take you to the full post. So that's easy enough to do. All we have to do is go back to the text editors, go back to our index.php file, and all we have to do is here, this title, we just have to wrap the title itself, which is here, in anchor tags. So just put href equals, just put a pound sign for now, and then we're going to close the href here. Okay, and let's just save that. See, now they are hyperlinks. It's a dead link now, but now we're going to change it so that it takes us to the actual permalink or the page for that individual post. So that's quite easy enough to do. So just replace this pound sign with PHP tags, and then inside there just write in the underscore permalink, and then put a semicolon. Let's save that, and let's go back here, refresh it, and let's click on this one, and there you have it. And let's go back home, let's take another one, there you have it. And here it's still showing us just the excerpt, because all we have right now in the background is the index.php file, and because we don't have any other files to use, it's using this to display the single posts. In a bit we'll create a single post one so that we can customize how we display the individual posts, but at least now we've accomplished what we want. When we click on the title, it takes us to the post where it can display the whole post, however we customize it to be displayed. So we're coming along quite well. So now one thing that we still haven't done is, you can see here that the author is noted as Chris for everything, and that this date is still being generated the same date on every single post. So we want to pull this information from each individual post. So that we can do by going to our text editor, and then this area here where it says the post meta, this is where we can control that type of information. So let's go in here and replace this date, just highlight the date and replace it by putting some PHP tags first, and inside there just write the underscore date, and then we can put semicolons, and let's save that to see what we have so far. And now you can see there's different dates, March 6th, February 3rd. There's each individual date is being pulled from the actual post. So the next thing we want to do is change this author to reflect what's actually the author from the post. So all we have to do is highlight this guy, the author, Chris, for example, in this static text, replace it with PHP tags, and just write the author, and end it with a semicolon, and let's save that. And let's refresh here, and now you can see root, and that's of course me, but you can see now it's pulling it from each individual post. So right now if we hover over the author's name and we click on it, it doesn't take us anywhere because it's a dead link right now. So it would be nice when you have multiple authors on a blog to be able to take you, by clicking on their name, to a page that has a list of their posts that they have written. So we can do that by going to our index.php file and changing a little bit of code. So let's just clean this up a little bit. Let's do this, put this on a new line, and then let me see what else we're gonna do. We're gonna put this on a new line just so it looks a little bit neater. Put this on a new line, and then all we have to do is replace this pound sign with some PHP tags, okay, and then we're going to write echo get underscore author post's URL, and then we're going to put single quotations. Then we're going to write get underscore the a underscore author meta. Oops. That's right. And then we're going to write here ID, and then take these out. These are not, shouldn't be there. Otherwise it's recognized as text. There you go, ID. So let's end that with semicolon. And what else? That looks good. Let's save that. And we'll just refresh that. And now if we click on here, it's taking us to the author. I mean, of course, it looks all the same because I'm the author of all of them, so it's bringing me up. But if we had different authors, it would take us to their page. And in fact, maybe I'll create a new user just to illustrate that. So I'm just going to pause it while I do that. So you can see here now that I created a new user. And if we click here, it takes us to a page showing only my posts. If we go to root, it shows all the posts except the one belonging to that guy, Jose. I wonder who that is. But anyway, you can see what's happening there. So let's go back to the home page. Now you can see here we have the title, we have the content, but most blogs, they have what's called a featured image here. I mean, it's always nice to have a picture to catch people's attention. And right now, if we go back into our posts, any one of them for that matter, let's just do edit. You can see here we don't have an option to add a featured image. So we want to have that option. So let's do that. So we can do that easily enough by going back into our functions PHP file. Let's put some code inside our theme setup. So just go like this, put a couple of comment tags, and write add featured image support. And then we're gonna write add theme support, and inside single quotes put post dash thumb nails, then put a closing semicolon. Let's save that, and let's go back to our post and refresh. And now we have the option to add featured images. So let's go and we can update that. And if we go back to our post, it's not showing yet because we have to add a little bit of code for that. So let's go back into our text editor, and we want the featured image to appear. Where do we want it to appear? Let me think about that. Well, you know what? Let's just put it above the title. So let's go in here into our text editor, back into index.php, and let's go in here. Get some little bit of room. So let's put in PHP tags. So let's first of all check to see if it has a thumbnail. So if has post thumbnail, that's the first thing we want to check. Then put a colon. Okay. So if it passes that, then we're gonna go PHP. Then we're gonna say the underscore post thumbnail. Okay, then we're gonna say, then we're gonna end the if, end if, and that should display it. Let's go back, and here we go. I'm just going to go to the background and add the featured images for the other ones so we can have a good idea of how things look like. So I've added code, but I've actually put it in the wrong place. I've put it outside the loop, so that's easy enough to fix. So just cut that, and we're gonna put it right above the title. So just make some space there, and paste the code here. Let me just clean this up here. Delete that. Let's save that, and now each post should show their featured image. And here you go. And you can see some of these posts look kind of messed up, don't they? I mean, this one's going way across into the sidebar there, and this one is pretty small, and but we can fix all that, no problem. Let's just go back into our text editor. So we're going to go back into our text editor, and we're going to wrap our this thing here in a div. Okay, so we're going to take this, move it here, and we're going to give it a class so we can you know, manage it quite easily. Oops, div class. Okay, so we gotta take this class now, copy that, and go into our style CSS at the end, and we're gonna put some styling to it now. So the width, we wanna limit it to 100%. We don't want it to be any bigger. The height, we want it to be auto, and then we want to give it a little bit of margin bottom, let's say 20 pixels, and let's see how that looks. There we go. So let me check what's going on. Oh, I know, I'm not targeting the image, so let's change this to IMG so we target the images and refresh. Still not working. Let me look at the code. Oh, here we go. The div is in the wrong, the end of div I think is in the wrong place. So we'll move it here, put it there, and that actually should work because I had it after the end, so I don't think that's gonna work. So let's refresh it now. There you go. So clear the cache by doing that, and now you can see it looks very neat. You have all of them the same size. It's looking much better. So that's looking good, but the other thing that is common in posts is to have the ability to click on the picture and have that take you to the individual post. Right now, as you can see, we cannot click on it. So all we have to do is go back into our text editor and go to the area where the post thumbnail is being generated, which is right here. Okay, wrap that in an anchor tag. So let's say href. Let's just put a £sign for now. And then we're going to close that tag, save that, go back. And as you can see, now we have that little thumb that'll take us to it. Here it is, takes us to it. Right now it's not taking us to the individual thing because I just have a £sign, but let's fix that. So let's replace this with PHP tags, the underscore permalink, semicolon, save it, refresh. And now if we click on it, we are on that individual post. Go back home, click on another one, and it takes us to that individual post. So we're well on our way to customizing our theme. That's it for this one, and I hope you liked it. If you did, don't forget to subscribe so that you can get notifications about when the next tutorial is posted. Don't forget to like, and thanks. And also you can visit my web page, wpbasics.org. Have a good day. Bye-bye.